It's Friday and it's the first day in May. So happy first day of the month, guys. 1st of May, how the heck are we in May? But here we are. So we're going to follow the same reading. We're going to be carrying on with our cousin Claire. We're going to be checking in, little reminder, those core skills on TT Rockstars, your maths. We're going to be doing some more subtraction when numbers don't quite work and we have to look at it a bit of a different way. We're going to have a quick look at some more grammar. Then we're going to finish off those reports, which I'm super excited about. And then you've got your connected curriculum menu to have a little look and a peer through. So I had to squish the questions on, but they are on the next screen bigger. But remember, we need to read the questions first to then know what our answer is looking for. But also know that there is another little piece of information on the next page. So if you're searching for those answers, it might be on the next page. So read your questions first, then read this text. Then I'm going to give you a little pause, have a little pause here. And then we're going to skip over to the next page. So again, you can read the questions and read the text, and then we'll come together to discuss your answers, your sentence stems and what they could look like in your book, then writing your answers in your book. So have a read of the questions, have a read of the extract. Pause me now. And have a read of the questions and have a read of the extract. Pause me now. What might your answers look like? So, Bryn put his toys away because, and Bryn decided to give Claire his something to play with. So they are sentence stems that you can write in your book to squish your answer in. This makes the answers go into your brain deeper and be able to understand what the question is asking you. So it's a really good thing to need to do. Let's have a little read. "Excuse me," he said, "I just have to put some things away." "Oh, he's been very tidy recently," his mother told Aunt Jo. "He's growing up so fast." As Bryn put away his trucks and his books, he didn't really feel bad that Claire couldn't play with them. It meant that he had a little more time to have the big blue truck all to himself. He would lend her his big blue bear instead. After all, there's nothing like a baby to make you feel much more grown up than you've ever been before. So question 7 is, why did Bryn put his toys away? So if we have a look to the words toys and away, now it doesn't say toys. What word does the author use instead of toys? The author describes specifically which toys they are. So his trucks and his books are his toys. So you can see in the text where the red is, why did Bryn put his toys away? As Bryn put away his trucks and his books. So this might be where we find the information. So Bryn put his toys away because, as Bryn put his Bryn put away his trucks and his books, he didn't really feel bad that Claire couldn't play with them. So why did he put them away? Bryn put his toys away because, what was the whole reason that he got them out before he knew that Claire was a baby? The whole reason that he got all his toys out was so that Claire could play with them. Can she play with them? No, so the answer to your question might be, Bryn put his toys away because Claire was a baby and couldn't play with them. And question 8, what did Bryn decide to give Claire to play with? Bryn decided to give Claire his... Now, he didn't say give, does he? The author doesn't use give. What words does he use instead of give? He would lend. To lend something, does it mean that it's yours forever? If you lend something to somebody, is it theirs? Are you giving it to them? You're not, are you? What are you expecting? You're expecting for them to give it back. So, what did Bryn decide to give to Claire to play? Bryn decided to give Claire his, and you can see it here, although he's not so fond of the give, you can see that he would lend her his big blue bear. So Bryn decided to give Claire his big blue bear to play with. Okay, TT Rockstars time. GT Rockstars, time, off you go now. Math. So today we are subtracting a 2-digit number from a 2-digit number. So we're going to use the number lines today to begin with. So 50, I hope we got some rulers at home. This could be tricky. It doesn't matter if they're wonky. In your book, we need straight, but right now, wonky number lines is the least of our problems, isn't it? We don't need to be stressing about that. So wonky lines are fine. I didn't ever imagine that I'd be able to say that, but here I am saying it. Wonky lines are fine. So use the number line to subtract 12 from 51. So we are counting back now because the jump between your numbers are too big. If we started at 12 and we started counting up from 12 to 51, we'd get there, but it would take an awful lot of jumps. So this is what we do when numbers are too far away from each other to be able to count up. We've got to count back. And the way that we're going to start counting back is in our tens first. So how many tens do I need to take away here? I need to subtract 1 10. So I'm taking away 1 10. Take away 10. And how many ones do I need to take away? I need to take away this many ones. How many ones do I need to take away? I need to take away 1, 2 ones. So I'm going to do my jumps on the number line first, and then I'm going to fill in the numbers. So 51, take away 10, and do not panic and stress if this is hard, okay? There are a couple of you that are leaping to my mind right now. You will know who you are. You're just about to go, I find it really difficult moving from taking away 10s to taking away 1s. We know it is hard, and you're doing this for the first time. So be gentle with yourself and know that this is tricky and you're going to work and you're going to try and get it. And if you don't, your mum or your dad or your grown-up will know this is an area you find tricky, and they might just be able to give you a couple of these where you jump from your 10s to your 1s. It's okay. This is going to be tricky. Get your brain prepped. Go, yeah, I'm going to focus. I want it. I'm going to try extra hard. I'm going to see, and if I don't get it today, I'm sure my grown-up will give me some more that I can do. And you know what? In the weeks coming up, we're going to be emailing you, go, look, I kept practicing and I did it. But I'm going to show you the technique now. You've got this video. You've got this to come back to. Let's have a go together. So 51, take away 10. We're taking away the 10s. 51, take away 10 is 41. Now this is where it gets even more tricky. We're going to be bridging this 10. So 41, take away just a 1, gives us 40. And then 40, taking away just a 1, gives us 39. So subtract 12 from 51. I've taken my 51. I've got 10, 11, 12. I've got 51. Take away 10 is 41. Take away 1 is 40. Take away 1 more is 39. So 51, take away 10, 11, 12 gives me 39. So a much neater version there. You can see that 51, take away 10, take away our 2 1s, so 10, 11, 12. We're going back and we get 39. We do our 10s first. So we partition that number and we do the number of jumps, our 10s and then our 1s. So can you have a go, please, guys? In your books, draw yourself a number line, put 43 on the right-hand side, and you're going to be taking away how many 10s? How many 10s are you going to be taking away? It tells us here. How many 10s? And then how many 1s? This many 1s. So starting on 43, how many 10s you're going to do, how many 1s? Pause here and answer the question. I'll be back in a moment. So you can see you've got 1 10, 1 10, and then 4 1s, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've done your jumps first. Now we're going to take away 43, take away 10, 33, and then we're going to take away our 1s, 32, 31, 30, 29. Did you get it? If you didn't, spot your mistake. Where did you go wrong? That's where the good learning comes in. Where is it that you found, oh man, I took away my 10, I got to 33, but then I took away another 10, and I was at 23, and then I was at where was it that you went wrong? Because if you can see your mistake, don't let your grown-up point it out to you, because that's not learning. That won't make it go in. look at your paper, ask them to ask you teacher questions and say, ask me teacher questions. Let me find where my mistake is, because that is where the best learning happens. So can you spot your mistake? If you feel like you've got that, let's move on. If you feel like you need some help with that, then you can ask your grown-up when it's appropriate, because they are busy in all of this too. But when it's appropriate, if you show them this and say, I'm finding this tricky, can we have a little look? Can you do me some questions together? Then maybe that's something that you can do. And if your grown-up is too busy, then you can email me. Of course, I will get some questions out to you. It will just be a list of questions, so it's not as good as having a grown-up there with you going through it if they've got the time. And I know it's a really busy time for everybody. So we can have a look at, if you're still feeling like, I just don't get it and my grown-up's really busy, we'll look together in school and we're all back in. We will look together in school, so do not stress if this is tricky, okay? If you feel like you've understood it, let's move to our... Okay, now if we have a look over here, we've got 42 and we're going to partition it. So 4 10s, 2 1s, no problems. We're going to take away 15, so we're taking away 10. 40 take away 10 is 30, no probs. But look, 2 take away 5. If I've got 2 sweets, 1, 2 sweets, and you try to take 5, I've only got 2 to give you, so you can't do it. We can't actually do this. And some people just go, oh, I'll just do 5 take away 2, but that's a completely different question. You've invented a whole different question. You're not going to answer this one. So we've got 2. We need to take away 5, so we're going to borrow from over here. So we've got our 30 here. So we're going to borrow 10, and we're going to give you one of our 10s, and we're going to make this into 20. So you can see here 42 becomes 30, take away 10, which equals 20. Now our 12, because we borrowed this 10 from here, our 12, take away the 5 still in the 15, which gives us 7. So the answer, 42, take away 15, equals 27. Let's have a look at some that you can work through now, guys. So pause the video here. Remember to use this one that we've just worked through to help you. You're going to have to borrow when you're trying to do 4 take away 1 and 5 take away 3. It's not going to work. You're going to have to remember to borrow a 10 from over here to change this part of your calculation, because here we haven't got any 10s. Here we've borrowed this 10, so your number goes from 40 to 30, and that 10 is over here. This is a really tricky concept to be teaching you, not being with you, okay? So don't be disheartened if this is tricky stuff. We will have a look together when we get back into school. See how you get on, see if you can partition and if you can borrow those 10s. And if there is a grown-up around that's able to help you and sit through this with you, then I think that will be helpful. Okay, so pause the video here, have a go. So how did you get on? Let's have a look at some answers. So you can see here, we've got 31 take away 14. So we've done 30, and 1. But if we try and do 31, if we try and do our take away 4, it won't work. So Mrs. Munder's gone straight to, forget that bit, I know it's not going to work. So I'm going straight to taking one of those 10s and putting it over here. So that makes us 30, your 20 and your 10 here makes your 30 and your 1. So now you can do 20 take away 10, which is 10, and you can do 11 take away 4, which is 7, which gives us the answer 17. And over here we've got 43, which should be 40 and 3. But Mrs. Mullen has gone straight in, and I don't blame her, straight in to go, and I know that if I try and take 5 away from 3, it's not going to work. So I'm going to borrow this 10. I'm going to make a 10 from this side, go over to here, so that 40 becomes 30. So now I can do 30 take away 20, which equals 10. And now because I can do 3 take away 5, but I can do 13 take away 5, which equals 8. So it gives me the answer 18. How did you do? Have a look back over, find the mistakes, because that's where the learning is, guys. And remember, be gentle with yourself. This is tricky stuff. Let's have a look at this, deepen it now. So Eva and Whitney are working out some subtractions. So Whitney says, I'm working out 74 take away 56. And Eva says, well, one of my numbers in my question is 15. Whitney's answer is double Eva's answer. Ooh, so what could Zoe's subtraction be? Now, there isn't going to be one answer to this. So there could be loads of different answers that could be right here. But the first thing you're going to have to do is figure out Whitney's calculation. Okay, you're going to have to figure out, because Eva says one of my numbers in my question is 15, and Whitney's answer is double Eva's answer. Okay, so you're going to have to work out this first, get the answer, and figure out I was going to tell you that. You figure out how you're going to find out what Eva's calculations could be if Whitney's answer is double Eva's. This is going to make you mathematicians out there, it's going to make your brain sing. You're going to love it. Okay, so pause the video here. If you're still finding the other maths concepts tricky, don't try and boggle your mind and do this one. If you feel like you're on it, and you've got it, then have a deep dive into this, guys. Let's deepen it. So pause here and let's find the answer. So, you feel like you've got it? Let's have a look. So if you're figuring out Whitney's calculation, her answer equals 18. Did you get that? If you didn't, go back, have a look. Did you borrow the 10s? Because you've got 4 ones. You can't take 6 away from your 4. So you're going to have to be splitting out your 10s to make sure it's a calculation that you can do. So Eva's answer is, if Whitney's answer is double Eva's, another way of saying it is Eva's answer is half of Whitney's. So half of 18 equals 9. So Eva's calculation has to be something take away something equals 9. So it could be 15 take away 6, or it could be 24 take away 15, because one of my numbers in my question, we've got to have that number 15 in there. Guys, if you got that, I am super impressed, and send it to me, because you're going to need an extra gong bong for that. I don't know if I'm still doing gong bongs, but let's see. But yeah, that was tricky brain, mind frazzling stuff. So well done. If your brain is pumped and ready for some more learning, keep going with me. If you need a break, take a break now. Okay, our grammar activity. We need to match the words to their contraction. So in your book, like yesterday, we had our punctuation marks on the left-hand side. I would like you to write is not on the left-hand side, and then do an equals, and then write the two words, and then write the contraction that is equal to is not. Is it she'll? Is it don't? Is not. Is it you've? Is not. Is it isn't? Which one of those goes with is not? And write it here. And then do you have, and do equals. And what's the same as you have? You have she'll, you have don't, you have you've have isn't. Now there are clues. These words are just missing some of the letters from the full 2 words. So look for the clues and match them up. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to come back to you with the answers in a moment. Okay, ready for the answers? Here we go. Now these, I showed you there. So is not equals you have equals do not equals she will. So that's what we should look at in the book. And then let's have a look. So is not equals isn't. It's apostrophe because you're missing the o, and then the t isn't. And then you have is you, and you're missing the H and the A. You've got the apostrophe there, and then you've got the VE, so the apostrophe instead of the A. H and the A. Do not, don't, so you're missing the O, the apostrophes instead of the O. And she will is she, and you're missing the W and the I. How did you do with that, guys? Good job. Take a pause there. That is your grammar complete. Okay, time for our English and your report writing. I have seen some incredible, you're working your socks off. How did we do? We have got some gong bongs for those people that are doing incredible things. Well done for the work. Now, right now we're going to be going back and we're going to be checking over what we have done. Reread what you have written, because often what you think you have written and what is actually on your page are two different things, and it's not until you sit word for word looking at it that it makes sense. Let's have a look. When we write something down, it's really important that other people can understand it, especially when you're trying to engage someone. You've put all that hard work into the engaging element, and then you've missed out some words or the punctuation's not quite right, so we need to make sure what you think is on the page is actually on the page. Mistakes can make it really hard for other people to understand what we mean by writing. So you are going to be your teacher and you're going to spot the mistakes in this PowerPoint. So are we ready out there, teachers? Good. Missing word mistakes. In this sentence, some words have been missed out. Which words? Last week, I to the park. Oh, what did they miss out here? Last week, I to the park. What's missing? Shout it out for me. Last week, I went to the park, of course. Although that hasn't happened, has it? Oh, man. How good will it be when we can go back to the park? It'll be super. What are you going to go on first? I think I'm going to go on the slide first. Roundabouts make me puke. Arthur likes roundabouts, so he'll probably go on the roundabout, but I think I'll go. Okay, so we can miss words out. Then we can make spelling mistakes. Can you spot and correct the spelling mistake in this sentence, guys? They like going to the seaside. Have a look at those words. Which ones are spelled incorrectly? I'm going to give you a second here. Pause it if you need to. There's two words in this sentence that are spelled incorrectly. They sound like if you sound them out, they sound like they should be okay, but they're not. They're tricky words that we should be spelling bob on. So pause it here. What's wrong here? They is not spelled like that. How is it spelled? You know how to spell they. Think about how should they be spelled. And also going. Although you can hear what in there, it shouldn't be there. Go is a tricky word, and even though we pronounce the go, we don't hear it. So it should be written, they like going to the seaside. So now I want you to take a look at your non-chronological report, and I want you to focus on any missing word mistakes. Now, grown-ups, if you're able to work through this with your little one, and children, remember, grown-ups are very busy. There's lots of moms and dads that are working from home. Me too. I have got two boys that I've said, you're going to have to give me a minute, guys, at certain points in the day, and you have to respect that. So if your grown-up is saying to you not now, it is not now. Maybe you can arrange a time later in the day when you can do it, or maybe they just can't right now because there's so much going on. Maybe it's too tricky for them. But if they can, if you've got a grown-up that can work with you at the moment or can arrange later in the day to work with you, get them to, if you're thinking, I haven't got any mistakes here, get them to read over it with you, not pointing out, look, you're missing this from here, but reading the sentences as you written them, because it's easy for us to put in those words that we know should be there. Our brain tricks us. So get your grown-up to read it out loud. What is missing from those sentences, see if they can help you to spot them without giving the game away, so being the teacher. Also, if you're grown up, can have a look at your spellings and pick out at least 3. If you're struggling to think, well, I've spelled them all correctly, but you know there's going to be spellings in there that are spelled incorrectly, if they can pick up to 3 spelling mistakes, because we don't want to be going overboard, do we? But 3 spelling mistakes, especially those tricky words like they and go and could, and any of those tricky words, if you think about, maybe I'll get a list up for next week of those tricky words that in year 2 that we should be spelling correctly. Focus on those. And also, I want you to check that you've got your full stops and capital letters. And remember where your letters should be sat on the line when you're doing your writing. What letters should be the same height where the grass is. So we've got all our lowercase curly bits that sit in the grass. Then we have our ascenders, so our D's and our F's and our H's, where the little sticky bits point above into the sky. And then we have our descenders, our F's and our G's that go down underneath the line. The rest of the word should be sat beautifully on the lines. All capital letters, no joins for a capital letter, and they all stand on the soil at the very base of the grass, and they all start from the same point, nice and tall into the sky. So can you make sure that your presentation, and I know it's hard because you want to get the work and the content done, but please try and take pride in what you're doing, because the standards that we had before this were incredible. So if we could just try, and whatever it is that we're doing, know that we're doing it to the best, and it looks gorgeous, and I'm going to look at it and go, oh my gosh, I need to kiss my screen because it's so gorgeous, like I'd kiss your book. So make it beautiful, make it engaging, but just ultimately do the best that you can do, because I am proud of you, and whatever your best is, you know what, that is good, that is good enough for me. You are superstars. Take care. It's the weekend. You get a couple of days chill, kick back, enjoy the sun. Let's hope this sunshine stays. It's glorious. I will see you next week, my brilliant, brilliant team.